A good workspace is something that we all look for. Something that work from home taught us is that a good workspace is a place where you will be able to spend hours sitting there, getting some work done and never getting bored of it. Hi, my name is Sasha. I'm a 4th year vet student and a somehow content creator, and I truly loved making my workspace a better place over the last couple months. Now, a great workspace is a great desk setup as well as a great and inspiring room. In this room, I try to keep everything minimal, and even though it is not done yet, I am getting there. The room is not quite split into different parts for now, but should theoretically be split into 3 different parts: desk setups, organization, and reading corner. Only half of the parts are done, and I'm quite excited to get them all done. Starting with the organization, I didn't want to have anything but dark tone shelf, which would mix minimalism and the OG vibe at the same time. I then found these 2 different shelves. I first thought of getting twice the same one, but I ended up with a big no for this idea. I have this shallow shelf, excuse the pronunciation, where I put one of the main light of the room, the black link light from IKEA, as well as some file organizer next to it. It also happens that besides being a student and a content creator, I am a 21 years old guy who sometimes enjoy playing video games. So I also have this Xbox One on the shelf and a box to store any type of things that didn't have a specific place to go in the room: controller, headset, and others. Trying to bring some green vibe into the room, I dropped these 2 small fake plants that I might replace very soon. For the other shelf, I went for the Lerbeck one from IKEA, which isn't dark but grayish, but I still like the vibe it had. I used this shelf to store books, student essentials, also known as a printer, and some tech gear. In order to make it an organized mess, I put a bunch of cable that I use quite often into this box to make it look neat. And I stored here the small camera gear that I have and that I use to make my YouTube videos: the Joby 3K tripod, Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, and the Canon M50 Mark II. It also happens that my dad gifted me a GoPro back in 2013 that I recently found when I moved into this new apartment, but for now, it lays there and works as decor for my camera gear shelf. To recall the green vibe from the other shelf, I borrowed my girlfriend's hanging fake plant and tried to arrange it in a good looking way. Now that we are done with the organization part, and for a quick introduction to the part that does not exist yet, this is going to be the reading corner. And I started to make it, but the budget called me back and stopped it. I used a grey carpet from IKEA as well as this side table. I still am missing a light and a comfortable OG vibe chair that will go into the corner, but stay tuned for the upgrades. Now let's move on to the workspace part. I wanted something that truly made me feel good while getting some work done, creating content for this channel, and as being a 4th year university student, I do spend quite a lot of time sitting at my desk, reviewing my lectures, or learning my flashcards, so it had to be comfortable and welcoming. We are still in the process of making my girlfriend's desk setup usable, so this will probably be for the next video. But for my part of the workspace, I do have a lot to say. Let's start with this tabletop. I decided to go all black and get this Lindmon table from IKEA, which does have a wooden pattern, but let's all agree to disagree on its general look. I first wanted to get some Alex drawers since I would see them all around the internet, but I decided to be different, and I went for these wooden support that remind me of this time when I was a child. And knowing that the organization part would be ensured by the shelves, I could afford to get a desk support without drawers. As you can see, I decided to push the minimalist vibe more far, and there aren't many things laying around on my desk. For the hardware part of the desk setup, I used my MacBook Air 2018 as my main device, connected to a Samsung SF354, which has a decent size of 24 inches that I decided to hang on a monitor arm to give me some more space on my desk. For the other device of the hardware part, I used my iPad Pro 2020 to get all type of tasks done: writing, scripts, planning, creating, and studying. For the decoration part of my desk, I didn't want to put a lot of things on it, so I kept it simple: a nice scented candle to support me during my long studying sessions, and a fake plant from IKEA. For the tech accessories that I have on my desk, I use the Logitech Z337 for my sound system, which I can control through the remote and switch between Bluetooth or wired mode. I also have this charging station that was kindly sent to me by Elago, which allows me to charge my phone, AirPods, and Apple Watch at the same time. And I find it quite useful to have my phone charging in a vertical position in front of me while getting some work done. For the AirPods charging side, I still do have to buy a charger. I also always keep my camera battery charger on my desk so that I can keep an eye on the battery level and whether the charge is complete or not. For my keyboard, I wanted a mechanical keyboard with some backlighted RGB lights, so I went for the Royal Clutch 60% mechanical keyboard, which was the best decision ever. Isn't this so relaxing? And for my mouse, I shouldn't even present it since every tech-related person knows about it, but I went for the MX Master 3 for Mac, which again, couldn't have been a better decision. I also love to keep things at reach so that I barely have to move when I need something while working or studying. So I always have my notebooks next to me, one that I keep for journaling every morning and the other one that I keep just for some notes about my lectures or to test my knowledges. And I also keep my Muji pens, which are basically the best gel ink pens that you could ever find. Hashtag unfortunately not sponsored. I also have my DIY to-do list block, which I will talk about in a future video, which allows me to write down all the tasks that need to get done through the day. And now that we are reaching the end of this video, this was my work from home office and desk setup tour. It might not be the coolest nor the prettiest, but this is the place where I get inspired, creative, and which make me feel good while spending hours on it. If you have any questions about product or simply want to tell me how much you love this video and that you want to see more of these, let me know down below in the comments. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. As for me, it is time to get back to preparing my cow midterm exam, which takes place in 2 weeks, which means that I'll meet you in the next video. Peace.